Welcome into the Vol Out podcast. Tonight I'm here with Billy, Swanny, and Jordan Moore. We got a whole room full of boys. How you guys doing tonight?
I'll let you guys go. I'm here all the time. Hey, I'm doing great. I'm pumped for Saturday. Can't wait for Saturday to get here. It's I feel like we're about to have 22 Alabama top atmosphere at Neyland Stadium on Saturday. I think this fan base is ready to finally end this streak against Georgia. So I think it's about to get wild on Saturday.
Absolutely, man. I'm with you. Billy, buddy, it's been a minute since we've had you on with us. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. The best I can right now, man. I'm glad you guys got me on because I've been in I call it the cage because I'm in the man cave right now, but it's a cage, and I'm glad I'm out. I'm glad I'm back home, fellas.
Beast is out of the cage tonight. All right, boys. We're going to talk a little bit about ETSU. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've seen this weekend, and then we're going to dive into the big one upcoming this weekend. All right, so let's just kind of get right into it, man. Vols opened up an absolute can of ass whooping this week. Like, that game was a prime example of belt to ass. Granted, I realize, who it was, but they looked good doing it for a change. It was nice. It's nice seeing it. Like, they come out, they look really well prepared. Home opener. That's what you want to see out of the in a game like this, I think. I mean, what are you boys thinking? I mean,
Yeah, I think to your point, you did exactly what you wanted to do. I think you accomplished exactly what you wanted to accomplish. You got your starters, 2 good quarters. You got see your backup stuff basically the whole second half. Man, I know a lot of people don't like these games. I mean, it's not competitive and stuff, but I still remember days for a 10 to 15 year period where Tennessee struggled in these type of games. And I mean, so being able to do that, like, that's like last year when we blew Kent State out. Everybody was like, what's the purpose of these games? I'm sitting there enjoying it because I remember when we almost lost to Troy or almost lost to UAB. So I'm like, hey, like you said, if we can put belts to asses against somebody, I'm going to sit there and enjoy every second of it because I've been as a fan, I've seen the flip side of it. But again, it was good getting the starters, the 2 quarters of run, and then being able to see a lot of those backups. And also, I mean, for some of those backups, that's putting some play on film to help build depth and build trust for the coaching staff as the season goes on.
And I'll add on to that, man. Jordan said it perfect, man. It's been a long time since I have actually seen a Tennessee team that took their starters out at third quarter and let the rest of the guys play. But these type of games reminds me of when we played during my time. These teams were called stat teams when I played. We're going to pad our stats no matter offense or defensively. We're going to get the big plays, the sacks, the tackle for loss, the touchdowns, all the passing yards. And this was the first time in a long time that I say that Tennessee went out and executed like they should have when they got to pay a team a check.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going into it, especially if you're on the ETSU sideline, like, going into it, you're outmanned, you're out-talented, the deck's stacked against you from the get-go. As soon as the game goes on the schedule, you are out, you're done, you're cooked. You know what you're going down there for.
And on the flip side of this too, just real quick, I mean, we're playing a team this weekend that what was the final against Austin Peay for Georgia, like 28-6.
28-6.
So, I mean, we could be on the flip side of that talking about only a 28-6 win against an FCS opponent, but we're not. So, and I don't think that's kind of any kind of relative stuff for this weekend. I didn't watch the Georgia game, so I don't know exactly what happened. Kirby's kind of the top that, you get a kind of a big lead. He just want to run the football and get out of there. So it could have been a situation where they did it in the second half. But I would much rather win a game 70-17 than 28-6 against an opponent like that. To Billy's point, still pad the stats. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's kind of get down to it. I mean, first drive, Vols go right down the field. Joey DeBrazel for 6 on the opening drive. I mean, it was all like 3-4 plays. Bishop had a big run. We come out hot. I mean, plain and simple. You want to do that against a team like this. You don't want to mess around.
It's all about the power of choice.
And nope, it's all right. It's all right. Didn't happen. It's all right. Didn't happen. At least it wasn't like Pornhub or something. Vols marched. Third and long, ETSU did have like a 40-yard pass. It got called back, legal formation. They go 3 and out. Defense came out good too. I mean, there's just not a lot to talk about with this one. I mean, there's really not. I think we did what we wanted to do, come out, looked real strong early, finished strong. The run game looks good. it was done but before we even stepped on the field, boys. And I don't think we could say that we've been able to say that for a long, like at all.
I think it was very encouraging to see that. Like, pretty much just echo what Billy and Jordan Moore said. Just, that's what you're supposed to do to the ETSUs of the world.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you go out there, you're the better team. You go out, you show them early and often, and it's done. I mean, by halftime, this game was over with. We knew that. It was nice to see. Let's talk about Joey, though. And also, I do want to say this, though. Colton Hood is legit. Dude is a lockdown corner. That might have been the best guy we got out of the transfer portal, period.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it sucks that right now you don't have McCoy, and Gibson's out for an extended period of time because you're losing some depth. But losing those guys and having a guy like Colton Hood on the roster, that helps alienate any type of concerns. And the freshman Ty Redmond has looked really, really good through 2 games also. Athletically, he pops when you watch him play. So just gaining more experience for him, he's only going to get better as the season progresses. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that was a massive pickup. You had to have that. Especially once McCoy tore his ACL, and I think it was like late January, February. You had to get another piece to add, and be able to get him out of the portal when you did was a massive pickup.
Also, I do want to touch on Star Thomas for just a minute. He's seen a lot of he's seen a lot of touches, and he looks really good through 2 games. I mean, granted, Syracuse, they're definitely a couple of steps above ETSU, and then ETSU, but that dude is solid, man. Like he's strong as new rope. I think we done kind of already knew what we had with Deshaun Bishop and Peyton Lewis. Star Thomas adds a different type of depth to that three-headed monster, I think.
Well, I like all 3 of them, man. They bring something different to the table with each one of them. It reminds me, and I always compare them to like when I played. That's the only way I analyze these kids, because we was up here when it came to like talent and stuff. And now when I see these kids, I compare them to some of my guys, like the Jamal Lewis, Travis Stevens, Travis Henry. These guys look good, man. I mean, it's been a long time since we had like that many tailbacks that bring something different to the table. And Star, best has yet to be seen with him. I mean, I've seen him in practice, and man, gosh, I mean, he's going to be nice. He's going to be nice, especially on short yardage and goal line situations. He will get in the end zone.
Yeah. I mean, dude, he can do both. He's a receiving back and can run, and that helps. I mean, he's got good hands. He can run. I think the 2 ahead of him right now can do both as well. But I think he kind of sets himself apart with his ability to catch out of the backfield and do something with it. Like, I think Deshaun Bishop, one of his better qualities is his ability to break tackles, especially in the backfield. Like, I mean, so far through both games, he's had runs where he's been stopped dead in his tracks for a big loss nonetheless, and then he's cut it upfield and went. And that's hard to find. That's hard to find right now because, I mean, at this level, guys are pretty sure tacklers, and he's able to do it. Both him and Pilu are ripped and ready to run with it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think with Star Thomas, the one thing that to me he has that the other 2 don't is like a twitchiness. His ability, he's a quick twitch athlete. And he has the ability to make people miss too. Like there's a couple of times where I've seen him run into a hole and thinking he's getting ready to get hit, and just he's so twitchy that he's able to make somebody miss. Bishop's very, very thick and strong, and like you said, he can break tackles, but he doesn't have the twitchiness that Star Thomas does. I don't think Peyton Lewis has that. Peyton Lewis is probably the fastest running back. We've just not seen him get out into the open field to be able to display his speed yet. And I've been kind of surprised at his lack of explosiveness running the football. I thought he was going to be the best running back that we had. I mean, he was one of the top recruits in the country coming in, and I think he ran I want to say it was like a 10-2 100-meter in the state of Virginia coming out. I mean, supposedly he's extremely fast. We've just not seen him get out in the open field to be able to show it yet. But I did not expect this from Star Thomas. I didn't expect what we've seen so far from Star Thomas. And to me, just through 2 games, he's the best running back, on the roster right now. And I would think if he keeps playing this way, his carries are just going to continue to increase.
Yeah, he to me, he's kind of filling up the Dylan Sampson role, so to speak. Like early in his career, here anyway, he's kind of like the go-to dude whenever we got we need to make a play in the run game or even in the passing game. I mean, he's done what he's supposed to do, and I like seeing it. But boys, I mean, we were talking about it before we kind of jumped on here. How about our receiving room? Our receiving room is legit.
I love it, man. I like what the receivers are doing right now, man. They're I mean, not with the exception of a couple of drops that were easy passes. I think they're doing a great job, man. And I like it because the past 2 seasons, our receivers haven't really stepped up to the plate. And
Right.
seeing guys make plays, catch the ball, and getting yards after the catch. I mean, this is huge for our receiving core because it is the bread and butter of our team. If our receivers are not doing their jobs, we're not going to be successful in this offense. And as long as they're doing what they're doing, we're going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mike Matthews going up and getting that one right before half. I mean, Joey threw it up there and he just went and got it. That was sexy. I mean, like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I almost popped a chub watching that because we've not had it for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the talent in the wide receiver room is really, really good. Just going into the season, they don't have a lot of experience, so you kind of didn't know what to expect once they got out there. I've been very high on the potential of the wide receiver room, and you're kind of seeing their athletic ability through these 2 games. The competition is going to get tougher starting this weekend, so I'm very curious how that plays out. And one of my concerns, too, kind of coming into the season was for the last 3 years, the wide receiver room has dealt with a lot of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a lot of depth at our receiver. I think we got like 7 scholarship wide receivers, where most teams in the SEC have 10 or 11. So we're kind of short on numbers there. So if injuries, somebody sprains an ankle, sprains a knee or something like that, you're very quickly playing a true freshman that doesn't have any experience. Now they're talented true freshmen, and athletically they should be fine. But it's the knowledge and experience inside the offense and knowing what to do and having the connection with Joey and the timing with Joey that you may have a little bit concerned with. But talent-wise, I think we have one of the best receiver rooms in the conference, just talent alone.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. And it's young talent.
Yes.
Young talent. That's an important thing because we, more than likely, chances are we'll have these guys at least through this year. Going into next year, that's what excites me. And with the Matt, bad as I hate to give him any publicity, the Pavia rule, we could have Joey next year with the community college crap that Pavia's thrown out there. It could, I mean, if that was to go the right way, we could have Joey next year. So we could be potentially looking at these guys on offense for the next year or so too. I mean, there's a lot to hold on there. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love it. Staley is the one that's impressed me out of all of them.
The only one that you could potentially lose, really, it would be Brazel to the draft because he's draft eligible. Other than that, if you're going to lose anybody, they got to jump in the portal, which, I mean, you never know in that scenario with the way the portal works. But these guys coming back, I mean, to me, you're also going to get ready to add the number 1 wide receiver class in the entire country in with these guys. And you're adding the number 1 overall wide receiver in Tyreek Keys. And that guy's a freak. They're also adding the King kid out of Knoxville, and then the 5-star out of Utah. So that room's about to get even deeper and more talented if all those guys stay.
And then Faison Brandon.
Yeah.
So
did you just say that the state of Utah produced a 5-star wide receiver?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did.
He did. That's almost as mind blowing as the elevator story that I heard before we got on. The receiver room is impressive this year. I think I told you this yesterday when we were together, Jordan. I think it's the best receiving core we've had since 22.
Yeah, I mean this offense, the way we're moving the ball. Of course, granted, it's 2 games, and we've probably not played 2 of the best defenses. There's no probably to it. We've not seen 2 of the best defenses that we're gonna see this year. But the pace is back. The deep ball's back. Like, I feel comfortable in saying the Tennessee offense is back. It's just a matter of execution. The deep balls have always been there. We've just missed it for the last 2 years. I do like the play calling. The play calling's back for a change. It seems like we're not afraid to take that deep shot, and I like it. I feel like the handcuffs have been taken off to an extent.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got a test this weekend coming up. So I'm not sure if we're still gonna talk about ETSU, but I'm ready to talk about Georgia.
Hey, let's bounce around the SEC for just a minute, and then we'll jump into Georgia. I got no problem with that. So to me, these are scores of interest. the mighty South Florida Bulls taking down the Gators 18-16. Sunbelt Billy, boys. I mean, that man may not have a job at the end of the year, but honestly, I'm going to say this. I don't feel like it's any fault of his own. He come in at a bad time down there. Like, they've had 2 years where that schedule is just absolute hell.
He may not have a job by the time we go down there and play, because if you look at their schedule, they may not win a game for another month.
Right?
They play LSU, Texas.
Texas A&M.
Yeah,
Absolute
Texas
gauntlet.
They play Georgia before they play us. They may not win a game again for another month. But the thing with the Napier hire, I never got it, because to me, when I think of Florida, and Billy I think he may agree with this. When I think of Florida, I think of high-flying, explosive offenses. Steve Spurrier, Urban Meyer. Even when Dan Mullen was there for a couple of years, they put up a lot of points. Napier's teams have never really done that. It's more running the football and short yardage, short passing type stuff. It's never really throwing it over your head and being explosive. So I just didn't know if that was ever going to work in Gainesville, just because of his style of play. I think he's a good coach. I don't know if he's SEC level. I do think he's a good coach. I think he has good stuff. I just don't think his style fit. Because to me, sometimes a lot of hiring a coach is also a stylistic fit.
Right.
I mean, there's some places where certain styles just don't fit. And I think that was a problem with him being hired in Gainesville.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not Billy, but I would agree with that. Billy, I'm sure you would. Go ahead. Go off, King.
Man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This South Florida team is a very good ball team, guys. They have. I'm gonna tell you what I call them. They have a bunch of convicts. They are the new East Mississippi Community College.
Oh, I love it. Last chance you, baby.
These guys have a lot of guys that's transferring to this school, and I give it up to Coach Kiffin. Kiffin brought that style to that school, and those kids remember. I'm going to tell you like this here. South Florida is going to be hurt at the end of this season. I don't see too many teams beating them. And if you got them for homecoming and you are Texas, be careful. Florida, do not take them lightly. This Florida team is good, guys. I'm telling you right now. They're a lot better than what people just saw this past weekend. That game, you can almost call it a fluke in a sense, but the Gators are going to be one of the toughest teams in the SEC this year, I think. They have a lot of kids that are a lot better than people are giving them credit for, and they're fighting their real tails off to show the world that they are still the kids that they used to get back in the day. So they will win some of those games. Somebody will get upset by Florida these next few weekends.
See, I agree with you on that, because I think they get LSU this weekend. Like, that was one of the, watching that game, that Florida South Florida game, that was one of those where it's like, okay, all right, you're waiting for, like, Florida hung around right there. Florida done a lot more to beat themselves than South Florida did to beat them. I don't feel like that's indicative of what we're going to see Florida be this year. I just don't.
So I'll tell you what Florida reminded me of them playing this weekend was, they're looking ahead in a sense, and they got a bye week coming up. It's tough, and this next 2 weeks for them is a gut check for them, because if they take this loss and do how, I'm gonna be honest with how my coaches used to do when we lost to Florida, it would be a whole man, be boring as heck, broken record. We listen to any time the music be all old school stuff. I'm like, no, we don't want that, coach. It never kept the energy up when we lost to Florida. So if Coach Napier, if he don't keep the energy where it was before they played South Florida, yes, I can see them doing exactly what Jordan said. But if he preached to those kids and tell them that, that was a fluke, we lost that one by accident in a sense, and let them know that we got Texas up next. Let's go out there and beat Texas or whoever we got and show the world that we are not going to be. I mean, we're going to mess with people's schedule up this year. I'm telling, they're the giant killers of the SEC this year.
I can see it.
I don't think even if Florida lost out before the Tennessee game and fired Napier, I still wouldn't feel good about that game. There's just nothing in the world that could make me feel okay about the Swamp.
I mean, you and I
maybe if they had it, I'm not going to go there, but you guys have seen We Are Marshall, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Even in that case, I don't think I would feel good about it.
That's savage as hell, man.
I'm just saying, dude, we can't win that.
We Are Marshall.
You know who the backup quarterback is down there, right?
No idea.
Former Tennessee quarterback Harrison Bailey.
I thought so. Dude,
yeah, I remember.
he's changing
No.
schools like we change underwear.
And if we keep the trend of allowing Florida backup quarterbacks to come in and be put on a Heisman Trophy list, and it's him.
Man, I wanted to bring this up too. If Napier does get axed, what are there's a few names that would be just nightmarish. Florida Gator head coaches. Kiffin.
Yep, that's the top of the list right there.
Golish would kind of hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And Gruden's name keeps getting thrown out there everywhere. NFL jobs, college jobs. Gruden's, I guess he's marketing himself again.
That's how that man stays relevant. That's
true.
all that is. That's all that is.
Gruden is officially retired, man. He's opening packages for life now.
That's it, buddy. That's it.
I'll go back to what I said a few minutes ago about stylistic fit. Like Kiffin would be the perfect stylistic fit, personality-wise, football-wise for Gainesville. And if he got into the state of Florida and had that state to recruit from, they'd be recruiting again like they did back in the Urban Meyer days. Like they would have talent galore all over that roster.
Well, Kiffin's one of those guys, you could literally put that man anywhere and he will do well there. Like I've said it, I don't know how many times on this show, any other show I've ever been on. You could say what you want to about Lane Kiffin. That man is a lot of things. Slimeball, douchebag, whatever. He is a hell of a football coach. And he will do whatever he's got to do to win wherever he's at. And I mean, the 1 year he was here, he did it. You know what I mean? Like that man does not like to lose. And I can admire that quality in any football coach anywhere in the country. I can admire that. Like straight up.
And the kids love that, man. The kids. Yep. The first time I met him, I knew he was going to be a good guy. I knew he was going to be a good coach as far as, exit and zones and stuff. Personality, you got to love to hate him or whatever. I mean, he does a good job of what he does. But the one thing that I love about him, though, man, he loved them kids. He going to make sure them kids love him, too. He's your ultimate player's coach.
Yes.
Yes. And that's a rare feature in a head coach.
And
coach typically allow his troops to be that. Because he's more of the, he has to be PG about everything, politically correct about everything. The other coaches typically, they curse the kids out or do whatever they got to do to make them happy and sad or whatever. Kiffin, I mean, that's what he does, man. He's great at getting the good kids to love him and do love with his system. So I wouldn't take him back if Tennessee gave him, $3 million or 2 pennies and come back and coach. I don't want his ass.
I think we have that. I think we have the great value version of Lane right now.
Yeah.
They're very, to me, Heupel and Kiffin are very similar. Like just very, you go look at what they've done just record-wise on a year-to-year basis. I mean, it's very, very similar. And of course, offensively, I think they both are great offensive minds, great offensive coaches. And to what Billy was saying about Kiffin being a player's coach, and Billy may know more about this than I do, but from the outside looking in, I think Heupel's a player's coach too. I think the players, and to me, that guy, I follow recruiting a lot, and a lot of times the recruits say he's just straight up honest. Sometimes at fault, he's straight up honest to him, and it may lose a recruiter too because he's telling you exactly the way it's going to be, and they may not like it. But to me, the lack of having a ton of transfers out of the program tells me the players respect Heupel. And I'll tell you a small thing, and maybe I'm gullible in this aspect, but I'll tell you a small thing that I've noticed over the last 2 years with the team and Heupel. If you guys watch some of the videos after games of him in the locker room talking to the team, or even before the game talking to the team, when he says something, the whole team in unison says, "Yes, sir." To me, that shows respect. You don't see that in a lot of other instances at other programs, but just the unison of them respecting him and saying, "Yes, sir," when he says something, that to me, that shows respect both ways. So I think Kiffin and Heupel are kind of like, they're just very similar coaches. Maybe different personalities in their personal life.
Right.
But I think player coaches are both player coaches.
Joey Freshwater.
Hey, you said that correctly, Joey. Personal life, totally different, man. Coach Kiffin, he's in the perfect place for his lifestyle. He's at a party school where the after party is going to be the way he like. Now, I'll tell you this. Kiffin, I think he's grown up, because when Kiffin was here, and Kiffin will tell you this to this day, I talked to him about it, and he'll tell you, and it's a statement that everybody will always say, if I knew what I know now, what I would have been back then. He knows if he'd have just stayed his butt in Tennessee, what type of coach he would be right now if he'd have just worked it out, because I don't think he respected the Tennessee job like he should have when he left and went back to USC. If he would have been thinking the UT job was USC, I think we would be competing for quite a few national championships over the past few years.
I can't disagree with that. Really?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. But we do have a lot of other games to talk about from last week, because it was
Yes, we do.
it was a big week as far as like how differently we look at the schedule now.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things changed for me personally. Georgia playing like shit against Austin Peay. Presumably, it's a game I didn't watch, but when you see that score, you're like, oh shit, maybe we can beat them. And then there's Alabama came out and looked like they had cleaned a few things up. They put 73, I think, up. 73 nothing on.
That was what they did. What we did, Louisiana Monroe. Who coincidentally they've lost to before. I'm not going to miss a shot at them. They have lost to them before. Granted, that was like Nick Saban's second year, but still they did. Just like we lost to Georgia State. Vandy looked halfway decent in the second half anyway against Virginia Tech. I don't think Virginia Tech is very good, but at the same time, it's hard to argue 34 unanswered and pitching a 34-point shutout in the second half. I really don't want to give Vandy much airtime just because it's the same song and dance with them just about every year. They'll start out good with some, I don't want to say no-name teams because we all know who Virginia Tech is, but Virginia Tech is not the Virginia Tech of the Beamer Ball days.
Yeah.
So we'll skate past that one. These last three, though, that I want to talk about for a minute. Ole Miss 30, Kentucky 23 in Kentucky. That game, is Kentucky closing the gap a little bit with teams like Ole Miss and whatnot, or is Kentucky just a hard place to play? You know
Kentucky
what I'm saying?
does this every year.
Yeah,
Did they not almost beat Georgia last year?
I was just going to say what Swanny says. To me, there's like certain games to where, like Kentucky and Florida, right? Like, I mean, they play with Florida every single year. Like there's a couple of games that some of these programs that, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the logo on the helmet or whatever, but there's like some kind of psychological thing to where it's always just a really good game. I think Kentucky's terrible, to be honest. I mean, I think they really fall. Like they have built a really good, respectable program under Stoops. I think the last 3 years they have really fallen off. I don't expect them to be very good this year. I think that's just one of those games where they just, for whatever reason, they know how to play Kiffin. They know how to play Ole Miss, just like whenever they play Florida. They know how to go against us. And then when they come here and play us, or we go up there and play us, we'll blow them out like we always do.
Sure.
Same thing with Kiffin, too. Kiffin and Ole Miss, they tend to play sloppy in certain games where they should win.
Yeah, I mean
thankfully they lost to Florida last year and it got us in the playoff.
I mean, Kiffin's good for at least one, maybe 2 games a year he shouldn't lose. So, yeah, to your point there, I see that. Jordan, to your point, I get that. But also, I think it's a Lane Kiffin thing because you remember the 1 year that he was here, it took us 2 overtimes to go up there and beat him. So, maybe... Yeah, I mean, I could see that. Here's one of the more interesting ones, though. Miss State 24, Arizona State 20. I think we all, at the beginning of the year, would have been like, oh, that Miss State game, that's going to be an easy one. Even though it was on the road, knowing they don't have anywhere near the same level of talent we do. But, I mean, Miss State jumped on Arizona State early. Arizona State had to rally to win that game. And then Miss State comes out, throws a long one there at the end, and 24-20, that's all she wrote. So I think the Cowbells may have a little something for us, just simply because it's on the road, and they're just good enough this year to where if we don't play good going down there, it could be like that Arkansas game last year, boys.
I hope not, because I'll be there in 2 weeks. So,
Billy.
There's a couple of games to where going into the season, I felt good that we're going to win, and there were a couple that I've kind of felt iffy about. To me, Georgia, before the season started, I'm like, well, that's a loss. I feel better going in this weekend than I did initially going into the season. Like, I feel better about going to Tuscaloosa and getting a win. I feel better about potentially going to Florida and getting a win, even though that's kind of not happening 20 some odd years. But on the flip side, I'm a little bit
23.
more nervous about going to Starkville than I was at the beginning of the year. I'm a little bit more nervous about, I'll tell you another team that I thought has shown well through 2 weeks is Arkansas. Their offense under Petrino has looked really good. And they come here. And then also Oklahoma and that quarterback they have, Mateer. That also kind of has me a little nervous. Those are 3 games that I felt really good about coming into the year that I kind of slightly feel less good about. But I also feel better about potentially beating Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah. That Oklahoma game's the next one up that I was going to talk about. I don't want to say they dominated Michigan, but they looked really damn tough. I mean, Michigan, they got a freshman quarterback, Bryce Underwood, Mr. Dave Portnoy's $10 million man. I don't know. Michigan is kind of hard to say anything about right now because this was their first real test. They've got the Big Ten season ahead of them, and Oklahoma looked tough though, man. Like we had Matt Peary was on with us last year to preview the Oklahoma game, and it was like I messaged him the other night during the game, and it was just like, this is what happens when half your team's not injured. Because last year we got them, pretty dinged up. Granted, it was at their place. They put forth a valiant effort against us. But, after that game and during that game, I mean, they had a lot of injuries, man. That was not the Oklahoma team that I think the SEC thought they were getting. And I think we may get that this year. That's going to be I'm with you on that one. That's going to be a tougher game than what we would have thought going into the season.
I'll say this about the Oklahoma game. I don't know if Billy was able to watch it live, but the thing that jumped off the screen to me watching that Oklahoma game is that defense was headhunting. They were flying all over the place like their hair was on fire, and they were physical. I mean, when they got to somebody, they were trying to take that. They were trying to snatch somebody's soul when they got to somebody.
Yes,
it reminded me a lot. And Billy, of the 90s Tennessee defense with those guys. Just flat out had no regard for another person at all, was just trying to snatch their, like Oklahoma, that defense jumped off the screen to me Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that.
Talking anxiety levels that were raised, like Mississippi State, obviously they're on the radar now. Oklahoma has risen to, I won't say fear feels like a strong word, but I would be tempted to change my preseason pick of us winning that game.
The best part about that game is the fact that they have to come to Knoxville.
Yes.
That's the best part about that game right now.
And to me, when you look at the schedule, that's very likely going to be dark mode because it's Halloween weekend. So that's very likely going to be a night game, black uniforms. So the environment, I don't know, Jordan or Swanny, if you guys have been to a night game yet with the black uniform, but the show they put on inside that stadium to make that environment, it's absolutely incredible what they've done for that specific night and how they get the crowd into it. It's times 10 on a regular Saturday when it's dark mode.
Fun fact, I was at the very first dark mode game in 2009 when we come out with I think Kiffin went down the street and had some Adidas black jerseys made with the orange pants. They looked awful, but they really didn't at the same time. They had the orange collar. I mean, it matched.
The crowd got hot.
They did, dude. I was on the end of the end zone. It was South Carolina. I was on the same end as the end zone that we came out of, and they were out there warming up in the all oranges, and we're like, okay, all right, cool. And then they showed up in the tunnel in those black jerseys, and that place went absolutely ballistic. And that was that's one of my fondest memories. Like that, you can't beat that night. It was piss pouring rain. I mean, like it was pouring piss out of a boot, and you couldn't beat it. Could not beat it. And we just went out. We dominated South Carolina. I still remember the spin move Hardesty put on the linebacker right there on that end of the field. Went in, put it in the end zone for 6, and that was pretty much all she wrote from there because the stadium lost their mind for that one. So
I think the story also goes the players didn't know, right? Because they sent them out in the all orange, and then when they came back in, the black jersey was hanging up, and the players went nuts in the locker room.
Hey, that's perfect for recruiting, man. Like that right there, I would have signed the dotted line myself. After that happened, I was like, this is what we've been missing.
Yes.
And gosh, and I can't wait to see what Adidas does.
So, Swan, there's your chance, buddy.
Let's push that to the end because we want to do Georgia. Let's get Georgia out of the way because I got a couple of things to talk about at the end of the show.
Okay. All right. So, I think we've hashed out everything from this week. Let's dive into Georgia, boys, because this is what we've been sitting here waiting on. Let's talk a little series history. Georgia does lead at 29-20. Before these last 8 games, it was 23-21 in favor of the Vols. Vols have really not had much of a shot in the last 8 games. Series is 12-14 in Knoxville. Since 2016, Tennessee's lost by an average score of 37-13. The closest game was last season's 31-17 loss in Athens. And the last Vols win in Knoxville was 2015. Last Vols win, period, was the Hail Mary the night the lights went out in Georgia. Jawan Jennings and Bob Kessling and his "what a turn of events" call that still pisses me off to this day.
We get it, dude.
No, we don't get it. We
don't get it. Hey, we have a major upgrade in that radio booth now.
We do. Absolutely, we do.
You want to talk about, you talked about earlier about getting a chubby. Whenever he screams sack into the radio broadcast every time.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad he's not watching the suck-ass Titans anymore. I mean, he's probably still watching them, but he's not subjected to it, you know?
So, all right, fellas, let's talk some game facts. College game day is going to be back in Knoxville on Saturday. I think that helps, add to the atmosphere.
First time
kickoff. 2022 Alabama. 30 kickoff on ABC. Both teams 2-0. Tennessee's got wins over Syracuse, ETSU. Georgia with wins over the mighty Marshall Thundering Herd and the Austin P Governors. Early spread, according to ESPN Bet, as of this time last night, boys, was Georgia favored by 7. Have you guys looked at it today?
It's dropped to 3.
Yes, tremendously. Over under 50.5. Vols on the money line looking pretty sexy at plus 240 right now. Okay. The FPI, it was 60-40 UGA earlier this week. Now it has flip-flopped 51.5 to 49.5 in favor of Tennessee. They're sucking us in, boys. I'm telling you right now.
I'd be very curious, and I may look this up when we get off the show, but I'd be very curious to know when the last time the spread was that small. Because I think last year, I still think it was like minus 10, minus 11, somewhere in that. And that's probably the smallest it had been maybe since 2016.
It's been a while, man. I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, Georgia spanked us. Let's not sit here and, polish a turd. Georgia has spanked us since 2017. I mean, plain and simple.
And what's crazy about that, Jordan, too, is I felt like growing up as a kid that even when we weren't very good, we still played Georgia very, very close. They were always really good games.
It was either really close, or we just beat them.
I never felt like it was one of those games where you just went in thinking you had no shot, even in our bad years, because for whatever reason, going back to the Kentucky or the Kentucky Kiffin thing, to me, Georgia was one of those teams that we kind of always. It was a close game going into the fourth quarter, and anything could happen up until Kirby got there, and then 2017 happened, and he's had control of it ever since. So it's felt weird getting your doors blown off. I thought last year we had a legit chance to win that game, even going into the fourth. I mean, we were down 7 midway through the fourth quarter.
We did.
Kind of choked that one away. This is probably the best I felt going into a Georgia game of feeling like we have a legitimate chance to pull out a win, not just keep it close, but win. I mean, I would say 22. I thought we were going to go down there and win. I did. We were number 1 in the country. The offense was clicking on all cylinders. I was there. I went in 22. I thought we were going to win that game, and obviously we didn't. But this is probably the best I felt going into that game since then.
I think for me, I feel good. I feel better about it now than I damn sure did 6 weeks ago. I mean, and the other two, Swanny and Billy, will tell you this was one of the only games outside of this was the only game outside of Florida that I picked us to lose on our early season preview. Simply just because, I mean, it's been 8 years. We have not been close to them in 8 years. I think that there's been a few of those scores that's got out of hand because of certain things that's happened during the game, whatever. But since Kirby's been there, kudos to that. Kudos to him, because I honestly thought Kirby was not the right guy for that job. And I was dead ass wrong. I mean, he was the right man for the job, and he's turned them into what they are now. And, man, it still pisses me off that grown men bark at me.
God, dude.
They're the worst.
I went to Athens in 2022, and before I went in 22, I didn't have any thoughts about Georgia fans or anything like that. 2022 completely changed my mind. Walking around that campus to go to that game and you having grown ass men bark in your face and act like dogs completely changed everything for me. I can't stand them. I hate them. They're right up there. Florida fans are my most hated. I hate them. I despise them. Everything about them I can't stand. I have been to many Florida heartbreaks inside of Neyland Stadium, many, and those are the most disrespectful. Whatever adjective you want to use to describe Florida fans, they are that.
I can think of a few.
And 2022, when I went to Athens to that game and I had grown men barking in my face at bars or walking to the game and inside the stadium, like they're right there. They're a notch below Florida fans to me.
Do you think? I think it'd be funny to have a bag of dog treats, and whenever one of them barks at you, here, boy.
Yeah, just toss one to them.
I'll be honest. I'm not one to talk smack or anything like that at games. When we beat Florida in 2022, I let out probably 15 years of frustration. Call any Florida fan I saw, I called them any name that come to my mind. I flipped every one of them off because all the shit that I got from being a fan in there and hearing it from them for 15 years, I gave it all right back to them. I didn't care.
Absolutely, you got to. So hey, same thing with me with Alabama. You guys can sit here and try to sway me all day long. Swan, the best thing about the state of Alabama is it touches Tennessee. That's the best thing about it. And that's a stretch, boys. That is a stretch. I don't know. I think we've all got our own teams we can't stand. I think Billy's might be Arkansas because every time we mention him, he's like,
well, I'll be honest with you. I hate every last one of them son of a bitch.
That's what we want to hear right now.
I have no respect for none of them because they all treated me the same way. Like, and with Jordan saying, those are the two most disrespected ones that did me when I played. Georgia, Florida, worst fans ever, man. I'm talking about in the town of Georgia fan pissing on you. Gators throwing liquor bottles at you. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, I'm like, dang, they letting them do this? I mean, it was so disrespectful. And now that he's telling me that, I'm like, I couldn't believe what they was doing in the stadium, let alone what they're doing out of the stadium.
Right?
It was crazy, man. I'll never forget the first time I got hit in the head with I think it was like a E&J bottle.
Ooh.
I remember that. I mean, I'm like, how'd they get this in the stadium? And then, of course, at Florida fans are probably about 2 feet away from the bench. You can turn around and shake the Florida fan hands if you wanted to. That's how close they were.
Why would you want to do that, though?
Seriously, it's that close. It's that close. I promise you. Like, it's crazy. And I don't like none of them. And the only team that we always had a radar on was the Gators. That's the only that beat us when I played. Everybody else was stat teams. Everybody. No matter who it was, they were stat teams. Florida was the number one team that we had to beat. If they won, they going to the national championship. We won, we going to the SEC. It was just like that back then. Like in today's time, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Texas, now everybody got a chance now. There's not one dominant team right in the SEC that you can say they're it.
Yeah. No, you're right there. I mean, it's the expansion has helped that argument too.
It's going to be, you haven't seen the worst of it. We're going to beat each other up this season.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I believe that's why they made the expansion, just so we can't win national championships.
I could see it. That and NIL, buddy. NIL. And it's weird now that NIL is a thing. Alabama is, and Georgia to an extent, are coming back down to earth just a little bit.
So you're telling me, Jordan, that 50,000 of Dodge Chargers aren't the going rate anymore?
No, not at Nick Saban Chevrolet or Nick Saban Dodge, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's no coincidence they all drove Dodge Chargers. You know what I mean? So, boys, let's talk about Georgia for just a minute. Let's talk about them. They're ranked 6th in the country. Offensively, they get let's just say 37 points a game. 45% third down efficiency. They get 240 passing the game, 214 rushing. They are -1 though in the turnover ratio. They've had 3 fumbles. They've lost, or they've had 3 fumbles, lost them -1. So I think right there is where the way our defense has been flying around. Granted, they've given up some points. I think that's where there's some hay to be made right there, boys.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this here. I mean, if we can slow their run game down, I think this game is a sure lock for us. And just by looking at the spread alone, of course, y'all know who I'm taking.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm right there with you, buddy. Money line, baby.
Vegas do not give away money, man. They do not. Like Jordan, like what you said. The spread, 3.5 points. Come on, man. There's no way. Like that is like to me, that would be disrespectful to me because Georgia is the elite. They got the 5-star. They got all the best players. And you're gonna tell me only 3.5 points to Tennessee with a new quarterback, no proven guys, and you only giving them 3.5 points? Give me the money line with Tennessee because I'm going to take a risk and I'm going to put my birthday money on this one.
Hell yeah. That's what we like to hear.
Well, I tell you, because there's never been a time where Georgia in the past 15 years or whatever, that it was a single-digit situation, even when it started off. Most of the time it's going to be 10 or better. But lately it's been into the 17, 18, 19 situation. You can't tell me Georgia has fell off that much because no. Georgia is still the team. Georgia is still the team to beat in the SEC. Second is Texas. Georgia is still the team. And you're going to give Tennessee 3. Brother, we are going to have some fun this weekend. I'm black mode this weekend.
Yeah. I get it. And now this is something else I want to get into later on as far as discussion, whatever. But their defense is only giving up 6.5 a game. They give up a 140 140 passing per game, 5.1 yards per attempt, and they give up 61.5 rushing, 2.1 yards per carry.
They ain't played nobody.
I was waiting on it. I set you up for it. Good oop. I mean, they've not. Granted, neither have we, but I'll take Syracuse and ETSU. ETSU, Austin Peay is going to be a good game. Give me Syracuse over the Thunder and Herd, though. Okay? If we're comparing the two.
Yeah. I'm with Billy, and I really don't have much on this game. But I'm going to be with Billy betting money on. I'm going to be betting on us. I think we're winning. There's not a piece of me that feels like we're losing Saturday. J-Mo said the weather was going to be nice. Gunnar Stockton is making his first road start in the SEC, and it just happens to be at Neyland Stadium. And, we're winning. That's really all I got on Georgia.
So here, I posted a post today on Facebook with the ticket prices, like $1,000 for a ticket.
I seen it.
And I'm like, there's no way the stadium is going to be packed. Guess what? The stadium will be packed this weekend because, hey, we would give away tickets to fill this stadium with ball fans. And I'm telling you, this weekend going to be so electric. It's going to be crazy, man. I mean, like, the way the stadium is built now, the way they put on a show now, brother. It's way more electric than when I played, man. I'm telling you, when we beat Alabama here in Tennessee, brother, I had chills on my body I never had before when I saw that situation. And if we give that same energy this weekend, Georgia better be ready, man, because it is about to get crazy in Neyland Stadium.
Yes, sir.
The 22 Alabama game is the loudest game I've ever heard in Neyland. And I think we're getting ready to be right there, maybe even top it on Saturday. Jordan, Swanny, like I do a lot of all 22 X's and O's film type stuff, trying to break down games. I've not really done it this week on Georgia because obviously, like I've been traveling. I'm going to try to do some of that later tonight, tomorrow. But from some of the stuff I have read and seen on social media is that their offensive line's been having some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And then their quarterback doesn't trust himself to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah,
he's very hesitant throwing the football. He's not trusting what he's seeing. He's not letting it out. He's not. The thing that I read is he's not throwing with anticipation. He's waiting for the guy to be completely open. That's the worst thing you could do for a quarterback. You got to be able to throw with anticipation. You can't wait for the guy to be open to throw it. It's too late at that point. To me, and this could be a question for Billy, but he was talking about shutting down the run game. You got this quarterback coming in, his first ever true road start at any point. He's not starting on the road in a game at all. He's having trouble throwing the football. I'd probably selling out to stop the run and saying, hey, young fella, if you're going to win this football game today, you're going to have to throw it over our head because I don't think you can. And you try to heat him up. make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket, put some hits on him, get him hurting some, and that, I mean, you got to shut down their run game. And also, I was thinking about this a few minutes ago. I think in the 4 years that Heupel has been here, the 4 times we played him so far, I think we've scored first in 3 out of the 4 games. We've not had trouble on that opening drive putting points up. If you go down there and score first in this game on Saturday, you're talking about an environment inside Neyland Stadium, you won't be able to hear anything when Georgia takes the field on offense if we score first. Nothing. Stockton won't know what's going on at quarterback if we put points up first and that defense goes out there.
Yeah. You go out there, you throw your you throw your best at them. I don't want to say best, but you throw what you got at them on that first drive. And if they stop you, they stop you. If you stop yourself, you stop yourself. But they'll know what's coming the rest of the game, period. I think I'm with you on that. I mean, just like, well, the 2023, Jalen Wright, first play of the game, son, 80 yards, untouched. Granted, I think we scored 3 points the rest of the game. But that's that's how you need to start this game off, is you come out swinging and you don't stop till the end of the game. Like, it don't matter, no matter what level you're on. You bring that intensity all game. You keep trying. You keep making plays all game. It's gonna eventually the ball. This is kind of like the Florida game, Alabama game, whatever, for however many years. Eventually, that ball's got to start bouncing your way. As long as you keep putting on steam and keep trying. And I think this is finally the year where we're good enough to where that ball's gonna. I also believe you're good enough to make your own breaks, and I think this is the year where we're just good enough and we're catching Georgia at the right time. This is the time of the year you want to catch them early in the schedule because they've got, to your point, Jordan, they've got the young quarterback. They've got the guy that's not played on the road. He's not seasoned on the road. And just like Steve Spurrier used to say, this is the time of the year you want to get them. Most of their good players were suspended, let's play on that. It don't matter. Get after them. We can do it. We're good enough to do it. It's just going out and doing it. And I think it seems to me this year Hype's got a little bit more of a ball sack to him. And he's like, all right, we're doing it. We're going downfield all game. It's there. If it's not there, we're going to make it be there. And it goes to, we actually have trust in the guy under center for a change. The pace is back, and we've got the receivers to make the plays. So
I also think, being able to run the football is going to be key on us beating them. Last year, we ran, if you don't take the sacks out, we ran for like 174 yards against them last year, which is the most we have under Heupel. And to me, I think that's because, one, we went to the 2 tight ends power football last year. I think our offensive line is better this year than it. I think this is the best offensive line that Heupel's had since he's been here. They're big, they're physical, they're mauling people, they're athletic. Lance Hurd, and he's completely changed his body and looks amazing. And we were talking earlier about our 3 running backs. Like last year, you had 1 basically, and Dylan Sampson, and he got 20 plus carries. Now you can keep those guys fresh as the game goes on. You don't have to worry about one person wearing down. So if we can move our defensive line around and run the football against them, I'm going to feel really, really good because I do think we're going to really point. I think we're going to slow their run game down. So if we can run the football, I think that's going to be the recipe for us to win the game.
You mentioned the offensive line. What's going on with David Sanders right now? He's not played through 2 games. Have we rested him for this game in particular, or is it just like I've heard high ankle sprain? I know those are hard to get over. Are we going to see him this weekend, or?
I don't want to see him, I'll be honest with you, because I think this offensive line is just doing a great job what they're doing right now.
Okay.
I think with him, his situation has helped us in a sense. And I hate doing this because I don't like to talk bad about the kids or anything like that, because all the kids are talented, but there's also a situation where gel together a certain way and you play better with certain people. And no negativity for the situation. But right now, you do not change that roster. I don't care if it was Peyton Manning coming back for this game. You do not play him. You keep the train going the way it is right now, because if you plug him back in right now, you're going to piss off a lot of people. And you don't want to do that as a coach. And if you do that, the trust, you lose it.
I could agree with that.
Because I'm just from the era was when if you lose your job from injuries or whatever, you lost your job. You got to earn it back.
Right.
You don't automatically get it. You have to earn it back. And that's the part that I wish we continue to implement, because that has been our problem the past 20 years. We're giving 5 stars positions, starting positions, when they don't deserve it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, you know, it's kind of like in life, period. Chemistry is organic. These guys have got it. I'm with you. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now, I don't feel like it's broke. We've not given up a sack through 2 games. And it don't matter who you're playing. That's an impressive number.
And here, and I'm going to say this, because when Jordan says the offensive line has been doing great, he is correct. But I'm going to tell you this here: the practices that I went to, no, our quarterbacks have been running for their lives. The pocket was collapsed so quick in practice. I'm not just saying one play. Back to back to back to back to back to back. And that's not good, because you know what's coming as an offensive line. You know what these guys are doing, so you should be able to protect it better. But no, these guys, I'm talking about first, second, third, fourth string, the pocket was collapsing. They have done something to fix that situation, because I thought we was going to have a situation this season where we was going to go back to 22. Hurry up, quick, help offensive line. We haven't done that this season. It's been, granted, we had 2 opponents that haven't been that great. But football is football. And it does not change because the kids are not as good as the other. They're still strong guys that can get to the ball or do whatever. But like George said, these kids are gelling together. They're working together. And I like it, because before all of this even happened, before I seen everything happen, that was one of the 2 positions that I said we got to fix: wide receiver and offensive line.
Yeah, you preached on that all year, buddy. I mean, that's a fact, and I think we've done that. I think it's, I mean, through 2 games anyway, it's evident that was a focal point for getting better on offense this year. Speaking of, let's dive into the Tennessee offense. Overall, on the year, we're ranked 15th in the polls, scoring 70 points a game. I think we all 4-0. That number's a little skewed. I mean, we put up 72 this weekend. Got to be skewed. 58.5 points per game. Again, skewed just a little bit, looking at who we've played. 152 yards passing the game, 252 rushing per game. We're getting 5.7 yards per carry. We've got 7 rushing TDs, 7 passing TDs, 8 yards per attempt in the pass game. We're dead even on the turnover ratio, and we're converting third down, 65% on third down this year. I mean, those are hard numbers to argue with, boys.
Balance. You're balanced across the board. And I also think you're 100% in the red zone at scoring once you get in the red zone. And that was an issue that we had last year too. We're not able to score once we got in the red zone, because we'd move the ball and get down there, and then tight spaces, the offense would just kind of bobble down.
Yeah.
It's the thing that I've taken away through these first 2 games that I wanted to see coming into the season was the quarterback spot. I was kind of hesitant on Aguilar. I didn't know how good he was going to be. I was concerned about it, but I think Billy and I may have talked about this at the tailgate Saturday. There are certain intangible things that a quarterback has that you can't teach, and I think Aguilar has those intangibles that you just can't teach. The feel, the timing, the anticipation, the understanding the game pre, post snap, all that stuff. He has it, and that to me gives me a lot of confidence in his offense moving forward. Because to me, under Heupel, we're going to run the football. It's what he does. It's what we've always done under Heupel, and that's there. My biggest question was going to be in the passing game, and if Aguilar had the it factor in. Again, it's Syracuse and it's ETSU. We're going to really find out this weekend. But I feel a lot better for the rest of the year with Aguilar after watching him through the first 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, he's going to. I think any quarterback on this level is going to take risk, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, he likes to take a lot of risky throws." I mean, those risky throws are the difference in winning you ball games, and I mean, you're going to live or die by them. And if he takes 5 risky throws this weekend, he hits 3 of them, 3 out of 5. I'll take that in this game. I mean, you know what I mean, on risky throws downfield.
One of the things that I can't get out of my head is I mentioned the guy earlier, but the Brooks Austin guy that does the film breakdown, he broke down the difference between Nico and Aguilar before the season started. He brought up a play from the Ohio State game, which was the first drive of the second half. We got a receiver wide open on a go pass. I think it might have been Matt Matthews, and Nico wouldn't pull the trigger. His first read wasn't there. He immediately pulled the ball down and tried to run. And he's like, here's the difference between Nico and Aguilar. He's like, Aguilar, he's going to rip it. He's going to throw it to that guy. And he's like, and I know there's been a lot of talk about him throwing interceptions at App State. You know what? He throws this ball 10 times. He may throw an interception on one of them. He's like, but you know what the hell's going to happen on the other 9? That sucker's running into the end zone for 6. So if you give me 9 out of 10 at 6 points and one interception, I'm taking that every single time over a quarterback that won't throw it at all just because he's hesitant. So to me, that's the way I'm looking at Aguilar. He may throw a pick or two here and there, but if he's going to give me some more touchdown passes in the meantime, taking some of those chances, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not throwing one all year this year. So, I mean, take the shot. I'd rather take the shot than not, Give your guy a chance. Defensively, though, I want to say this. Our secondary has looked pretty decent, honestly, considering we don't have any. We've not had Jamad McCoy all year, and Ricky Gibson's been out. He played well in the first game, but you didn't have him this week. Which you're not going to miss him this week. I'm sorry, you're just not. Or against ETSU, you're not going to miss him. But they've given up 296 per game, 220 passing, 76 rushing. I think the 220 passing that's a little skewed because both teams have been having to play from behind. 76 rushing, I would say that's on par because I mean most teams are going to start rushing, and for the last couple of years we've been pretty stout against the rush, giving up 21 and a half a game. Boys, we're able to get home on the pass rush. I think we'll see. I think this week, the defense may win it for us. This could be a 2023 Texas A&M type of game for us, where it may be low scoring. Offenses look good through a couple of games. Joey's getting his first real taste of what SEC football's about, seeing SEC speed, getting that SEC pass rush. Then again, could end up being an ass whooping either way. But I think our defense has a real opportunity to shine in this game.
I agree with you there because the stats that Georgia is putting up is perfect for our defense. It's the way defenses are always taught. We got to stop the run first, and they're doing a great job of running the ball right now. So if we can get them to, under, 120 yards rushing, that's a win for us. If we do that, now we can, peel our caps back and pass rush, get to the quarterback, make some plays. And I love the whole situation because, gosh, this is Georgia, guys. This is Georgia. They are the top 2-3 teams in the country. And we have to do what we're supposed to do. I'm going to rewind a little bit back to our quarterback situation. Man. And I'm going to say it a little bit different this time because I've dogged that position at UT for a long time because I understand the position. So Joey has stepped up to the plate and done something that a lot of quarterbacks can't do when you step into the highlights of a Tennessee quarterback. Because the quarterback position at Tennessee is way up here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In order to be good, you have to do some things that nobody has ever seen. And right now, he has stepped up to the plate. And the reason why I love him is because he is very appreciative to be here right now. He is doing something that nobody thought that he could do right now. I guarantee you right now, he's watching film. I guarantee you that, guys. He would know everything that the DBs do before they do it come this Saturday. And I'm talking about Peyton Manning eyes in a sense, because no one gave this man a chance to do what he's doing right now. No one thought he would be doing what he's doing right now. But he's doing something not just for himself, man. Like when you got family supporting you the way they supporting you.
Oh, dude.
My.
Man, his grandma in the stand Saturday, that was an amazing moment. Honestly, that is what it's all about right there.
See, I saw that today for the first time, and it reminded me of my situation being only 8 hours away from home. He's way away from home. And I'm telling you, homesickness is tough when you're in an environment that you've never been in before in your life. UCLA, yes, it's a huge stadium, but he's never had this type of fan base.
Mm-hmm.
God knows, I hope we keep winning because I'm telling you, We will eat you alive the first time you lose. And I hope that hype has put him in a situation that make him understand that. And I know he has, because he's done all his quarterbacks like that. Now, the part that I love about Joe, when he makes a good play, he celebrates quick, he go back to the sideline. That's a rare situation in today's time when it comes to shine. Everybody like the swag, but he's been very humble right now. And I love that, man. I love that. I mean, in a quarterback, you don't get that in a quarterback. Not in today's time. No such thing like an old school Peyton Manning guy where he just do a quick like and just go back to the sideline. I love what he's doing, man. He's an inspiration right now because no one thought he can do it. But I can't wait to see how the wide receiver position does it. That's the only part that I am afraid of with 5-star DBs punching you in the chest. And I think I got a sense of that of 22 situation with our receivers. We are 2-3 deep right now, receivers. I think this is going to be the test that gets us over the hump to the best of the competition that yet to come.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I think that I want to say that I want to think that this group here has one thing over that 22 group as far as the receivers go, and it's not depth, it's not any of that, it's toughness. I think this group is tough. They're young, they're hungry, and they're going to want to show, because I think we all know last year, the way Brazel was hyped up, he didn't show his full potential last year, and I think we're going to see it this year because he's got his second year in the system, and you can tell already he gets it. Granted, they've had through 2 games, they've had a couple of bad drops. All of them have, but I think we see the toughness, and I think that it shows that they've been in this system for 2 years now, and they know where they're supposed to be at. They know what's expected of them, and I think I think that is important. Let's discuss a few things though, like right here with Georgia, for instance. Like I kind of alluded to it earlier. The level of competition, like the level of opponents, they've played Marshall and Austin Peay as opposed to Syracuse and ETSU. I think on that level, we've got them. I would take Syracuse to be either of the 2 opponents that they've played. Marshall, they're not very good. Austin Peay, they're not. Obviously, we know they're not very good. They're more on the level of the opponent that we played this week. I would say Austin Peay would probably be ETSU. Outside of that, though, I mean, where do we go from here? Like, I think we've played better competition, but I think Georgia's also on that level to where, it's hard to go out and get up for a team that you're just going to absolutely whip. So what do you guys think? Like, to me, I think through 2 games, we look like the better squad, but are we? You know what I mean?
I don't know if we are, but I think we're winning. That's all I got.
I'm echoing it. I am.
I will say one thing too, like with Kirby, is some way, somehow, he has the ability to make that team feel like the entire world's against him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing that right now with the spread only being 3. Somehow he's going to use that as motivation. They're going to find something to get motivated about. He's going to find something to piss him off about. So to me, that's kind of a factor too. He's a really good motivator. To me, he's just as good of a motivator as Saban was, as getting a team fired up to go play with their hair on fire.
Rat poison.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays into it. One factor too that I think for this weekend that we haven't talked about too, special teams. I think Tennessee has special teams. We got Boo Carter returning punts. We got a really good field goal kicker. He's good from 50 plus, and you got a really good punter that can pin Georgia deep. Special teams can end up being a factor because you brought up the A&M game from 2023. Well, we won that game on a punt return for a touchdown by D. Williams. Boo showed what he could do again this weekend against ETSU. If he could house one or have a really, really good return to make it a short field for the offense, that could be the difference between winning and losing this game potentially also.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I mean, because Boo was a shoelace away from returning at least one this past week. And I'm sorry, I don't care. I'm in some ball groups on Facebook. I don't care who it's against. A punt return for a touchdown is one of the hardest plays to get in all of football. Don't matter what level it is, you have to be dynamic to do that. and he was close to doing that twice this weekend on back-to-back punts, nonetheless. So, yes, I would agree with that. That kind of ties into what I was going to ask you guys next. What's the X factors this weekend? Like, what does Tennessee have to do to win? Who has to have a big game to win?
Score more points than Georgia.
Excellent point. No.
You guys filled this one.
I'll tell you this. I think it's defense. We're going to have to slow that offense down. We got to shut down the run automatically. Special teams is going to be huge this weekend. It's going to be, the stadium going to be electric like it was in 23 with Alabama. Special team is going to be key. I don't know if it's going to come down to another field goal situation, but that's what I'm sensing right now. I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I truly don't, because I think both defenses are just that good enough to slow each other down. So I think it's going to be like the short game. I don't think it's going to be a lot of home runs this weekend. Now, I would love for it to be us with the home runs, but we never know, because this that Georgia team didn't show us anything in those first two games.
No.
And that's the part about, when you think about it, you can't judge a team about two teams that was not that good.
Right.
Because most of the time, the offenses are not showing anything. Georgia probably ran 12 plays against those teams.
Yeah.
12 plays. And that's nothing, because that playbook is 400 plays. There's a lot of plays in that playbook. And it's hard to judge that, because now, when you don't see a lot as a Tennessee defense, we got to study last year's film.
Right.
And that's not a good situation when it comes to a new squad, because there's totally different players and there's totally different playbooks. And I think it's going to come down to special teams. And right now, I love our special teams compared to their special teams.
Yeah, I mean, they're consistent. I mean, our kicking game, it's solid. Return game looks solid. Punt game looks solid. I hate to say it, but I watched as little of that Georgia game as possible, just simply because they were on the SEC Network Plus. I spent most of the evening Saturday watching the Tennessee game, so I can't say that I know just a ton about them. I do know I got a couple of Georgia buddies that are not real excited about this one. So but I've also heard that for the last 2 years too, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it. Like, you're just trying to juice me up just to let me down. You know what I mean? I do think, though, that if I was going to have to pick a time and a place to play them right now, it's this weekend, and I think we can get them. But I really do. Like, I feel a lot better about this game now than I did 6-8 weeks ago. I feel a lot better about it now than I did 3 weeks ago. Tennessee is very capable of getting this game and winning it. And honestly, if there was going to be I'm not going to say that, because we've been blown out. But I feel like if there was either offense in this game that had a chance to blow the other one out, it is more Tennessee than Georgia, just simply because Georgia is afraid to push the ball down the field right now. Their quarterback is. We don't have to worry about that. Joey's going to throw it. Joey's slinging it. Period. He's slinging it like Lane Kiffin, son, in a Lexus.
Well, Joy, hey, let me tell you something. That's the scary part of this whole situation, because Georgia haven't showed us anything. And that's the part that like, I try to help fans understand that when it comes to these X's and O's and stuff, don't get caught up in the game before or anything like that, because Georgia can be only game planning for Tennessee alone right now.
Right.
And the thing is about that situation, that's scary, not knowing that none of the plays they're going to run against us, they never ran yet.
Right.
And that's scary. That's scary, because the quarterback that Georgia is starting right now, they have to be starting him for a reason. He had to be doing some good stuff in practice, but they have them starting right now. And the part about, and I say scary, he haven't done the stuff that he's done in practice. We have yet to sing. And right now, and seeing the run game is outdoing the pass game right now, that is even more scarier. Because if you cannot stop the run, we in trouble. We in trouble. And I'm not saying we can't stop the run. I'm just going by stat-wise, because both teams are similar right now. And both defenses are going to be doing the same thing. And both offenses have yet to show their true color this season yet. because that is how we've always done it. We can't show our best opponent what we're doing yet, especially for our first best opponent, if you understand what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I like that to a certain extent because it's a guessing game, and now it is man on man. Who is the strongest? Who is the fastest? Now it's time for SEC football.
That's what we've been waiting on all year, boys. Okay, so before we get into the prediction, last thing, play calling. I'm gonna say this. I want to see Hype let him hang Saturday. He needs this one. I think he needs this one. I think in more ways than one. We've not beat Georgia in 8 years. He's not been close to beating them, period, since he's been here. He needs this one, considering we have 2 other feats to accomplish this year that have not been done in who knows how long. This is what he needs. What do you guys want to see out of play calling this week?
I go first. Everybody's scared.
Hey, that was a plan.
I want to see what we'll be doing already. Shots down the field. Let's make some big plays. Let's get the crowd into it early. Because I'm telling you, if our crowd is not into it early, we in trouble. If Georgia scores first, we in trouble. Because I have seen Tennessee fans go down. Here we go again. Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go again. I don't want to see that. I want to see our offense, even if Georgia scores first, I want to see the offense go down and score again, match their energy. I want to see that automatically. I don't want to see a situation where we're doing this situation like it's the same thing, guys. They score, it's over. No. I want to see our boys stand tall, go back down. Even if we don't score on our first drive, I want to see that we had a chance to do it. Drop the pass that we could have caught that was perfect. I want to see all the bells and whistles. I want to see it like clockwork, guys. I don't want to see what we've always saw where, it's 4th and 2. We on the 50, we punt the ball. No, I want to see us go for it for a chance against a big, good opponent. Domination, we got to come back and be a dominant squad and let them know that we're still the Tennessee that we can be.
I'm with you. Take that shot on 4th and 2. You've set it up. Take it. J-Mo, what you got, brother?
I'm curious to see what new formations and new wrinkles have been added to the offense to show Georgia something different than what we've shown the past 3 years. We showed a little bit against Syracuse, some new formations, some new passing concepts. We basically ran our base offense against ETSU and still put up 70. So I'm curious to see what new wrinkles have been added to be able to attack Georgia's defense. They added that Seth Luttrell guy from Oklahoma last year as an offensive analyst. They've heard a lot about like the pistol formations and different things. And I'm very curious to see what's been added and what we have shown to this point, which we did show, like I said, a few things against Syracuse. What do we have off of that? Because I'm sure we probably already put some stuff on film for Georgia to look at, but then we have something off of that to trick them with.
Of course.
So I'm curious to see what do we have in our bag. And to Billy's point, and to your point, you got to empty the bag this weekend. Open it up, empty it out, and go for it all. Billy said, if it's 4th and 2 on the 50, go for it. Don't play conservative. Try to go for the juggler. Try to get up early. Because if you can get up early, to Billy's point, you get up early, you get up 7-0, 10-0, 13-0, somewhere in there. Neyland Stadium it's going to come unglued. And that's only going to make it harder for Georgia to be able to try to put something together to come back.
Yes, I agree with that. Let the cat out of the bag early and often and go from there. Swan, what have you got, buddy?
Just guts, man. I want to see some gutsy play calling. It's already been said here, but that's my main thing.
I can admire it, buddy. Let them hang, let them swing. That's what I say too. Because you hit them with a couple of early knockout blows, it could get ugly quick. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I would absolutely love for Georgia fans to get in the comments and just dog us out right now because that's what they do. But let's get out there and let's show them, hey, we're here to play. We're here to play some ball. I don't think we've done that for a lot of the time over these last 8 years. That's what I want to see. So bottom line, boys, now's the time to put your money where your mouth is. Give me some predictions, score predictions.
23.
I like it. Billy, Swanny, who's going first?
You know, if I goes first, I ain't gonna stop talking.
38-34 Vols.
Oh,
Okay.
God, I like that. Oh, the Lord. Okay, I'm gonna go 27-20 Tennessee, and I'm gonna say that because I got a feeling we're gonna be so conservative, man. Because I feel like we're gonna be up, and Georgia gonna be trying to come back in a situation. And I'm not saying that because of what we've done based off the two games that both teams played. I'm saying that because I think that Georgia is going to come out on fire because they're going to try to take the crowd out of it. And that's just how elite teams do it. We want to go to their home, take their crowd out real quick. That's what it is. Georgia's still the team to beat, guys. And I'll take a 27-24 opposite way. Either way go, win, loss, but I want the win. Now, the problem is we have yet to see Georgia. We haven't seen the Georgia them first two games. That wasn't Georgia. I don't know who that was playing them two schools because that wasn't five-star kids beating the School of Blind because that's what Georgia normally does. Shut out these garbage schools the first two games. 27-24 is my prediction. Tennessee, 3-point win. I don't know what the score really going to be, but I think it's going to be a situation where we kick the field goal to win the game.
You know what? I'm going against the grain here. You guys have all got high-scoring games. 3-0 Vols. We break out the wishbone. Triple option. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
That'd be awesome.
I'm just kidding, boys. Right. I'm going to pick us to win because I feel pretty good about it right now. I'm going to say 43-38 Vols. Okay. Some wild shit's going to happen. We might get a safety or two. Brother. I think we're going to score. I think we're going to score a lot. I think Georgia's going to score a lot. This is going to be an offensive slugfest, boys, hopefully. And if it does, I feel like that favors us.
My God. Here, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to see that.
Hey, either way.
Reason why I don't want to see that. Because on paper, Georgia has more points in a sense when I'm saying player-wise.
Sure.
I'm not saying about what the stats we got in this season. Player-wise, Georgia, there's if you go look at the roster, player by player, Georgia gonna overshadow every player we have, from the punter to the kicker to everything. That's just what they've done in the past decade. Now, I just don't think it's going to be a lot of points scored. I said 27-20 just because I want to go over with the total is the games. I think it's going to be a lower score than really what it is. I think it's going to be a true fight between Warriors where it's going to be very hard to score.
Yeah.
There's going to be some turnovers that we're not used to seeing. And that's the part that I just want our fans to understand. We still need you. Even though we make a turn, we need you, baby. We need you to be loud. Don't let that one turnover dictate the game because the game ain't over with, baby. I've been in a situation before. I understand the situation. Defense is going to be who wins this game.
I think I think, Jordan, you mentioned earlier, I think you had a good comparison. I think we're getting ready to see the 2023 Tennessee A&M game all over again, to where it's 23-20, 2017, defensive battle, all the entire game. One play really decides the game, which was the punt return by D. Williams, which is why I mentioned special teams. I think whoever can make that one play, because I do think it's kind of going to be a struggle. Who can make the one play? Is it Aguilar, improvising and hitting somebody open deep on a scramble drill? Is it one big run where you gash from one time? Or is it a Boo Carter punt return for a touchdown? Or it doesn't even have to be a Boo touchdown. Can it be him getting you into short yardage situation in the red zone to where you can kind of put something easy on the board? I think it's going to be the 2023 game to where it's a struggle and it's a defensive battle. And whoever can make the one big play wins it.
See, that's what I hope. That's what I hope for. I know what I predicted. I had to go against the grain on this one with you guys, though, because you guys all were like, yeah, it's going to be a defensive game. Shit. Sling that rock, son. Let's do it. That being said, though, boys, I think we're all in agreement. The Vols are coming out of this one with a win. let's put a bow on this one, call it how we always call it, and end it how we always end it. Go damn Vols.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Oh, yes, sir.